Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Geared Perspectives. Today I'm coming at everyone with a new video focused down the line. In the future, we are going to be having Gears of War 4. And it is going to be the flagship going into the game for holiday 2016 for Microsoft. Now, with that being said, we've just heard of another AAA title that is going to be dropping this holiday season, and early access is a week after the launch of Gears of War. Now, this is a bit disconcerting just going into the holiday season if you aren't aware of what big titles are going to be in the market. If you are a JRPG fan, the long-awaited arrival of Final Fantasy 15 is going to drop September 30th. That's pretty much right before October happens. It's going to be in that same window. Then you're going to have Gears of War 4. Drops October 11th, about 11 days afterwards. Then a week after that, again, you've got Battlefield 1, which is a World War I Battlefield game, and it looks pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. And then you have the November 4th Call of Duty, always drops on the same day every year, Infinite Warfare with the Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, going into the holiday season, you have to assess the history of Gears of War and the games that we've gotten so far. For the holiday games, they've done relatively well, but we've never had a perfect game off launch. And this is something that's ultra critical to being successful during the holiday season. Gears does have some advantages over other games. It is going to have couch co-op, which has been a staple of Gears of War for the campaign aspect of it forever. It's also probably going to have online co-op, which is the same. It's been in Gears since Gears 3. I don't see it going anywhere. The big issue that I see having this is that we have never had good balance and good launch for Gears off the start. There's always been problems. Judgment had problems, but that was released in March. So you can take it how you want it. Gears of War 3, we had to have patches pretty quick. There were things that didn't work out. Especially in today's world, you have to realize that there used to be a larger window for video games where you could be successful. There wasn't a lot of titles dropping on top of each other. There was pretty spread out. You had a couple months to play with. Now you have about 90 days. And going into the holiday season, you have to understand the market is that people are going to be looking up to pick up a game for either their kids, their friends, that kind of thing. To have that, you have to have, and to be a selling point, the game has to be the best game possible on launch day. There don't need to be there can't be any major problems with the game going into it, because then the people that are in the store and the reviews will tank the game for you. This is why it's ultra critical right now that we are giving feedback before we get to the holiday season. I would even say it's more critical that we need to get more hands on the game and get people into the studio, both from the casual and the competitive community, to marry this game to be the best game possible going into October, because there cannot be any issues. Because you are competing against two other titans, and Gears has not had the best history in the past 6 years. You can call it the flagship, but this flagship's got a lot of doubters on it and a lot of detractors. It has to make up for Judgment, and it has to be better than Gears 3, which, for a new studio, they are setting the bar awfully high. We haven't heard anything about other features that the casual community are definitely going to like. Horde mode, maybe a return of something like Overrun. I don't think that'll come back, but hey, it was a good idea. I liked it. Could be a thing. But this is the critical time in the state of the game where they have to be so on point. And they are listening to feedback, and I know for certain that they are talking to people, but we need more people. We need more people to be making content, questioning things. Hopefully that the coalition is bringing people out to private test and going over weapon balance and bringing out as many people as possible, so when the game launches on day one, we have the best game, hands down. There will be no issues. We won't be concerned about whether or not the game's going to be broken or if anything's going to be detracting from competitive play, because this is a new user base. Gears of War needs new blood. It's a fact of life. We need other players to come into this holiday season to grow the fan base. And to do that, the game has to stand up to all these other titles. There has to be a reason to buy Gears of War over Call of Duty or Battlefield 1. This game has to be on point in so many areas to compete against other things. Because Call of Duty is going to do what they do every year. Activision is going to cut the cost of the game during the month of December to sell more copies. They do it every year. I haven't seen a Battlefield launch in a while. Hardline did pretty decently off launch, but it wasn't as popular as Battlefield 4. And knowing Battlefield 4 is still played and has a very large user base, that's concerning. Now, that's saying that we have the Gears of War 1 remaster. The game has been in multiple consoles. People have copies of the game. But what's the active user base? Now, this will also help with consoles and other things that people will pick up the game, but that's not a guarantee that they're going to stay. With multiple games coming out this holiday season, people are going to move on if the game is not to their liking. If there's something better, they will transition. We need people to come into the game and then stay there and help facilitate growth. We need growth of the fan base. Yes, there are millions of Gears of War fans. Yes, there are tons of people that are excited. But we cannot just be satisfied with just hopefully they all come back. And this is coming from someone that cares about the series and is being somewhat critical in certain areas to say, we're throwing all the eggs in one basket hoping that this game is going to be the best game on launch, past launch, into the next year, into the next game. This is going to be Gears of War's future. This game must be the best Gears of War that we have seen to date. There are no other options. There's nothing that can... If this does not do well off launch, it's going to be really hard to come back from. Judgment put a sour taste in everyone's mouth. It's just a fact. And question marks are never good. Now, many people played the beta. You've heard reviews. You've heard the lyric video. I'm just concerned. With the announcement of Battlefield 1 less than a week, pretty much a week after, there is a lot of questions now. What is the holiday market going to look like, and what game is going to sell the most copies? Now, being an Xbox One exclusive, that puts Gears of War in a really awkward spot because the other two AAA titles are on both consoles. Which means we need, like I said, best game possible. Guys, this is me, Waldo. I'm coming at you with my concerns for the holiday season for Gears of War 4 and the AAA titles we'll be competing against. Like and subscribe below. I'll be making more video content here this weekend, and I hope to see you guys later.